Well, I'm here with the trainer of the IBF World Heavyweight Champion, Don Charles. And Don, does that sound real now?
It's started to register after I've had time to digest it, and it still sounds alien, but it's a good sound. Say it again.
The trainer of the IBF World Heavyweight Champion, Don
Yeah,
Charles. Come
yeah.
on. How's it going? I mean, we are now about a month away from Daniel Dubois, your charge, challenging to become undisputed, make history at Wembley Stadium against Oleksandr Usyk. I guess the first thing I want to ask is, you've been to Wembley before with Daniel. He knocked out Anthony Joshua. It was a huge performance. The feeling 1 month out, how does it compare to what it was for the AJ fight?
The feelings, it's almost like you've done a dry run. That's how it feels, because Daniel is the fighter. He's been there, done it. As a team, we've been there, we've done it. So it's basically copy and paste with a few alterations here, there, and there to accommodate Mr. Usyk.
Well, there will surely have to be a lot of alterations, because he's not any ordinary copy and paste. This guy is being seen as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time right now. His resume is it's untouched right now, everything he's doing, and he's a man that you know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's extraordinary. He's a magician. He's the guy is is an incredible person, incredible boxer, bag of tricks, and yeah, we're gonna have to go some. Like I said earlier on in previous interviews, I'm gonna have to devise a game plan, mother of all game plans, to be able to overcome what this guy does. He's unbeaten as a cruiserweight, undisputed, unbeaten currently. He is since Sir Lennox Lewis. He's the undisputed champion for the last 26, 27 years. And so, yeah, this guy is, he's special, he's extraordinary. But is he human? Yes, he is.
He can be hurt, which is something that you know, right?
Most definitely. I'm not going to regurgitate, because I have to now put that to one side. In fact, it's a rule of the team. It's the unspoken. Since the last press conference in Wembley against Mr. Usyk, we had a team meeting. Daniel's father in particular, that the rules are that we mustn't, that's in the past. Yeah, it's about today and tomorrow and on the 19th. So we have to purely focus on that.
I felt like that might be the case as well. I could even sense towards the end of that first kind of round of promotion, where a lot of the emphasis was on what happened at that first fight. Even Daniel was starting to get a little bit sick of it, and he's the one saying, I'm a man of the future, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So this man of the future, how's he looking to you?
This man of the future is the future of boxing, heavyweight boxing. And yeah, what can I say? I can't elaborate enough. I'm very happy. We are very happy. We happen to be sitting on a log of wood, touch wood. Everything's going according to plan. Look, we're experienced now. The first encounter with Usyk in Poland was almost 2 years ago. We're like 5 weeks away from it being 24 months since I started working with Daniel Dubois. You know, so a lot has changed. A lot has changed. So very, very excited. Very, very excited.
For that first fight with Usyk 2 years ago, as you say, you'd only just got with him. He can't have been ready, Don. He can't have been.
Well, I can sit here now and say we were mad thinking that we were ready. I'm always very ambitious. Daniel's very ambitious. So it was an opportunity. We didn't have to take it, but we did. It happens to be our first fighter-coach relationship. We had to develop it quick, instantaneously. In 14 weeks, we had to gel. I had to try and put the ethos of the boxing that I teach to this new fighter working relationship. It was very, very difficult, but we did enough for him to produce what he produced back then in Poland. Yeah? I can say it now because we've digested it, we've gotten over it. Daniel's become world champion since then. That I'm glad it happened. At the time, I was devastated. We were devastated because we believed we did enough to have gotten the win. We didn't. But when I look back at it, I'm actually glad that happened, because this time round we know what we're dealing with. You know, it's the known rather than the unknown. Daniel has been in there physically, felt him. He has felt Daniel also. Okay, so going back now, obviously, like I said, that was a 14-week camp. Then face Usyk. Now it's 24 months. It's a lot of time we've spent together, and look at the results since then that Daniel has gotten. So, you know, everything is aligned, in my opinion. It was all, I'm a God-fearing man. I always say God knows best. The God took it away from us in Poland because he showed it to us. This is what's possible, and took it away. As humans, we were devastated. But looking back now, it's almost like, yeah, like I said earlier on, I'm glad in a way, because this is a bigger, God took it away, repackaged it, much bigger package to say, now you are ready. We thought as humans we were ready then. Now I believe we're ready. Now I believe Daniel's going to receive the gift that was supposed to be for him 2 years ago. That's my take on it.
Nothing tells the story like time passing, and this is turning into quite the story. So if you look at Daniel in that first fight, away from home, he'd only just got with you as a coach. He was, you know, heading into really the lion's den. No one was really picking him to win. It was limited experience, a huge jump up in levels.
Yep.
But the story now is, I mean, look at the last 3 wins. Incredible. He's been with you so much longer. He's at home. He's in familiar surroundings of Wembley Stadium. It's all lining up.
Absolutely.
This big kind of almost spiritual moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, you couldn't write this. You couldn't write it. But it's real. It's happening. It's unfolding. Yeah? Again, let me go back, take it away from what present to past. Very, very, very past. I was 14 years old when I came to England, yeah, from a previous civilian war that happened in my country. Came to England to study, pursue education. Now, 50 years later, in fact, it is 50 years since I've been in the UK, to tell me that I will be training somebody to go to Wembley, the famous, iconic Wembley Stadium, to a record capacity audience with a fighter who's going to fight a fighter who is the biggest thing in recent boxing world, which is in the name of Anthony Joshua, and become victorious over the biggest thing in boxing. Little African boy who came here at the age of 14. Again, like I said, you couldn't write it. And bearing in mind, boxing is not what I came to the UK to do. It's just a hobby of mine that became a profession.
It got out of hand.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, I don't very often regress. You lie down, you think, you evaluate, you weigh things up, you examine your part, think, oh my God. Most cases, I'm not too big and too macho to admit it. I cry a lot. I cry on my own when I think about my history.
Happy tears.
Happy tears, yeah. Okay, wow, God, really? Because I didn't know that this is what I was meant to be doing, or I'm going to end up doing, yeah? And where my name is being mentioned, you know, like we're sitting here, it's a privilege for me to be sitting here knowing that thousands and thousands of people will hear my voice, because I'm on a mission. I'm not going to say, as we sit here today, what that mission is. But on the 19th of July, 2025, it will be mission accomplished, in the sense that now I can say it. As a human, you don't say it as you're going through all the times you get knocked down in life, you know, all the trials, adversities, you know, you think, why God? I'm a good person, I'm a hardworking man, why these setbacks? It's all for a reason. But I can see it now. And it's all pointing to the 19th of July in Wembley. I know, I feel it, yeah? I'm talking about for myself. And Daniel Dubois himself, the fighter who actually gets in the ring and fights, we were obviously meant to meet in the way we started working together. It wasn't a plan. If you go and ask his father, that was not the plan, but that was God's plan to bring us together.
And he's a God-fearing man as
yes,
well.
he is. We're all spiritual people. The whole thing, like I said, there was no plan. Let's say, for instance, 7 days prior to having the first meeting with Daniel Dubois and his father, he was not on my radar. He was not in my mind that I'm going to be training Daniel. It's just a sudden thing that happened. It just shows you, God is great.
Listen, we are at the farm, and it's incredible. Thanks for having us here, by the way. And
You're welcome.
Wembley is there.
Literally touching distance.
Now, I've heard that ahead of the Anthony Joshua fight, Daniel would stand around over there and have a look. And
He still does.
Is this true? He definitely does this.
It's a fact. He still does.
It's amazing.
Because the whole point, when we first... I've been coming here for 8 years to this farm. My former charge, Derek Chisora, used to be strength and conditioning coach. Used to bring him here, which is the other unit within this setup. That's how I came to know about this place. It only dawned on me 8 years later. We were looking, because we usually go abroad to do camp. We've been to Spain, up in the mountains. And this environment, the way it looks, is so it could pick this up and put it in Spain, and it would look the same, So that's what gave me the idea. We were going to go back to Spain, and we thought, you know what? If I can convince the farmer, whom you met earlier, Gary Lewis, and if I can convince him to let us do camp here, then this is camp. Camp is like a tent. Wherever you pitch that tent is your camp.
And that's just a lovely bonus.
And to be here in Wembley, like I said, when the first day I brought Daniel here, I stood in by the car park after his father parked the car. I asked both of them, what can you see on the far, in the distance? They kept looking. Eventually it appeared, the arch. It appeared. I said, that's your destiny beckoning.
Wow.
Yeah? And my goodness, that is exactly what's transpiring. That's what's unfolding.
Let's look back to that launch press conference with Oleksandr Usyk, and you really went after him, Don.
Why don't you print one of those prints as the actual shot that had you trembling?
You had a few things to say to him, and I've presented a few of Usyk's press conferences. I did the ones with Tyson Fury, however many times they came together. I did the launch one with Daniel all those years ago, and I've never seen him kind of almost on the back foot and acting in a way like that. He brought it to an abrupt kind of end as well, just got up, and I've never seen him like that. Are you trying to get in his head? Are you in his head?
No. I'm trying to establish the truth, because the truth will always set you free. I merely was, like I said, demonstrating what we'd all experienced. It wasn't just me. So obviously we hit a few nerves, and he was acting very uncharacteristic of him. He was joking around. He likes to play this clown, this Pied Piper, magician. He's a dancer. He's everything. He's very colorful, this man. He has a lot of colors to him. And he knows deep down that we've sussed him. We sussed him, because I said, this man's like a chameleon. Changes colors to fit in within, infiltrate his environment. He knows that we've sussed him. All that acting games and that, he uses it as a smoke screen to cover what's actually really going on. I'm not going to elaborate anymore. We've got him. And I said to him, he's there, he's well documented. I said, we're going to forensically dissect you and catch you.
What did you make of Russ Amber's comments? He's obviously part of Usyk's team. He wasn't there that day, but he's been asked about it, and he had a few things to say about your approach at the press conference. Said you shouldn't really be speaking to the fighter. There's nothing he abhors more than the trainer speaking to the fighter, kind of thing. What did you make of that?
Yeah, well, everybody has their opinion. I have my opinion, he has his opinion. I'm sorry, Mr. Amber, I disappointed you with my... I'm merely speaking the truth. Like I said, the truth will always set you free. I'll advise you to accept the truth and speak the truth. That will always also set you free. I'd like him to come and actually sit in front of me and explain to me what his problem is. Am I the only coach in the world of boxing that has spoken to the opposition? Yeah? No, I'm not. It's a regular occurrence. So I don't know what again, like I said, he's got his opinion, okay? But let him come. Let's go as gentlemen, sit down for a coffee and discuss it. I will be able to not convince him. I don't have to convince him about anything. Who is he? He's nothing in my life. He really isn't. So therefore, he can hold on to his opinion and he's entitled to it.
It'll be interesting to see you together. I'm sure one of the IFLs or something will grab you, and
Yeah,
there'll be
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that will happen in
yeah.
Fight Week. But no, I look forward to that. It was just interesting to see the two different.
I would like to hear what his problem is. Is it the first time he says he detests a coach speaking to a fighter? I have every right to represent my fighter. I train my fighter. It's also in my interest to represent my fighter in every capacity. And that's what I do. That's what we do. I'm not the first. I'm not going to be the last.
Any changes to camp for this one compared to the Joshua fight, or indeed any of the last 3 fights? Are you having to do anything different for Oleksandr Usyk, considering the magnitude?
You have to do a lot different to accommodate someone like Specialized Oleksandr Usyk. Number one is a southpaw, different stance, so the personnels are different. The sparring partners that have to be good southpaws, and believe me, it's one of the most difficult to try and get someone who can come close to replicating what Usyk does. It doesn't actually exist, so you have to get as near to possible as you can to get someone to replicate this genius. So that's one of the main key things you have to change. But in terms of the infrastructure, we already have that. Copy and paste. That's why I say copy and paste.
Yeah.
But there's a few things we've had to add in to be able to enhance and aid Daniel Dubois. When you're at this level, we have to recognize this is the top level. It doesn't get any higher than this. Yeah, even if you take it away from boxing, you got football, tennis players, motor racing drivers, Formula One. At this level, there are additional things that they have to put within their approach, training. We've added. I'm not going to elaborate on that,
Sure.
but we've had to recognize that we need to include a bit more, widen our team, bring in different personnel with different skills to be able to, it's gains, isn't it? No matter how little percentage.
Incremental
yeah,
gains, yeah.
It's little gains, and that's what we've done. You asked me, have we done in different? Yes, we have. Yeah, not majorly, but there have been new additions that we've incorporated in our approach.
How are you finding Daniel the man, which is kind of the general feeling heading into this fight, is that the first time Usyk boxed him, it was Daniel Dubois, the boy.
Yeah.
Now he'll
Correct.
be taking on Daniel Dubois, the man. So and how are you finding it? You agree with that? But how?
Most definitely. Yeah, I mean, Jesus, even take boxing away from it, as a person, as a human being, as a man, he's grown. He's grown. He's 2 years older.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it was Daniel Dubois, the boy. Now this is Daniel Dubois, the young man. Yeah, he's still in his prime. I mean, 27 years old, and what he's already achieved is remarkable. And yeah, you're going to see the public will see. We see on a day-to-day basis what he does, the improvements he does as a person. He's matured a lot. He's more outspoken. He's still not going to stand on the rooftop shouting. No, that will never be him. But he's more engaging, more expressive. Yeah.
We've seen that at the press conferences as well, that he's speaking up more and more. But tell me this. If he gets Usyk in trouble...
When he gets Usyk in trouble.
What's going to happen? What's different about this guy now that you're training? What's going to ensure that he doesn't get disheartened in that moment if something goes against him? How are we going to make sure that he gets...
Well, you can never make sure in life, otherwise we'll be God. Yeah, we know the young man that I'm looking at the moment, he's shown down his last 3 fights. The Miller fight and the Hrgovic fight, he went through dark patches there where he demonstrated that if faced with any hardship during the fight, he will encounter. No fight is easy. There are periods it's not going to be going your way. He's now mentally, it's never been a physical thing, it's mentally, yeah, recognize that sometimes it's not going to be plain sailing, including in the fight where he's about to have on the 19th. There's going to be some, as Teddy Atlas always quote him on, his quote is that you're going to having to go through some dark alleys, some rough, treacherous waters
yeah.
to get to your destination. And that's what, in most cases, that's what he has done. Like I said, the Baby Miller fight, the Hrgovic fight, and the AJ fight.
Yeah,
And in round 5, we took a tremendous right hand from AJ, and he withstood it, and coincidentally in the same round finished the fight. So he's learned how to deal with those situations. Yeah, it's something within. It's not something you can teach somebody. It's, like I said, it's more mental than it is physical.
His dad is around. I assume his dad's around camp.
Very much so.
Some videos of little Solomon knocking about as well. This
Yeah.
kind of family feel.
Yeah, that's the feel. That's what we have in this gym here. You know, but when it's time to be serious, in fact, Daniel's always serious. He now jokes about. He has a laugh, which is brilliant. I love to see that. Then when it's time for action, bam, he switches into, yeah.
How much of Daniel is just a boy trying to impress his dad?
No. We all, if the truth is told, we all want to impress our parents. Even at my age I have now, my parents are no longer with us. God rest their souls, both of them. I will always try yourself. You've got your parents. You will always trying to look good in front. It's no different to what he was.
It's a great validation,
I think
isn't it?
so. In today's world, the society have changed a lot. It's refreshing to see a guy as old as he, where what his father says, he holds on to it. Old-fashioned values. It's refreshing that there's still, in this Western world, that still exists. It's refreshing.
How do you deal with that as a coach in the corner? Because this seems to be a theme that a voice that he will hear and listen to, aside from your own, is the voice of his father. So
Brilliant. I welcome that.
Superpower,
I think that's an extra gain because the father knows his child better than me or any other man on this planet. Damn right, he should be looking up to his father as a role model. So what his father said, the tone, he's heard that tone of voice from the minute he entered this universe. That's the voice that resonates with him through. It's all good when it's going good, through the hard times in that ring, and he hears that voice that he holds on to. Why not? I think it's a massive gain.
yeah, he's been throwing every punch within his
Well, yeah,
so
yeah. So I recognize that, and we accept and welcome that. I think it's a plus.
How's the fight going to go?
How's the fight going to go? How we want it to go. No, we have a plan. How we're going to approach that fight. I'm not going to elaborate. I never do. But one thing I can tell you is that we will be in control of that fight, and he's destined. He's determined. Yeah, what I see in this young man every day in this gym, he's demonstrating exactly the approach for the other fight. You see the signs, they're there, what he's going to do. And you just got to make sure nothing goes wrong, like we had to pull out in Riyadh, for instance, because he fell ill when everything was good. We got 2 or 3 days before the fight, he fell ill, and we sensibly pulled him out. And we're just hoping that everything goes well. We're at home. This is the UK.
Yeah.
We haven't no change of climate, the air. I don't know what would have caused that, but we're here. So the temperature is more or less the same. It's going to be here in the UK. And and everything going well. We believe we know what's going to happen, that God knows actually what's going to happen, but we believe we do.
I've got an interview with God lined up at about 2 o'clock.
You have?
So yeah, I've managed to get him on a Zoom. So but yeah, good stuff. Thank you, Tom.
It's a pleasure. God bless you.